what's the matter?
If I look exhausted, it's because I am. It's morning. I have been up for a while, but only literally just got out of bed. And I've been wanting to do a new video for a while, but I'm having one of those problems where I have a million different YouTube video topics in my head to the point where I don't even know which one to make first. So I'm gonna make the easiest one first, which is gonna be a fun little makeup challenge that I created for myself. I'm sure it exists someplace else on the internet, but I don't know. And it's probably not gonna be the best, which you guys know by now, because I still can't figure out how in the world they managed to film beauty tutorials, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay, so as I just mentioned in that last clip, I'm in my pajamas. I had only just woken up when I decided I wanted to film this video. So excuse the crazy attire and the weird bathroom lighting. It does get a little bit better in about a minute because I decided to film nearer to the window. Don't know why I didn't decide that in the first place, but whatever. I hadn't really put much makeup on at all when I began this video, as you can see. I have some contour on my cheeks, a tiny bit of blush maybe, can't really remember, I'm recording the audio a few days later. And I put some concealer on my eyelids as kind of a base. I find it holds things a little bit better than some primers do. It just depends on the primer, and I didn't feel like buying one. And I decided to have a little bit of fun and do a challenge with the Strawberry Dreams palette by Manny MUA. My aunt sent me this in the mail, and I was a little bit shocked when I first looked at it because the colors were extremely bright. As you can imagine, I'm sure by the name of the palette, it's a very berry toned one. And I thought it'd be kind of fun if I did a challenge where I tried to do a goth makeup look with only that palette. So I just started putting one of the lighter pinky shades on my lids as kind of a base for everything, and I was actually surprised, like, considering it was either the lightest color in the palette or the second lightest color in the palette. The pigmentation is pretty extreme, which, yeah, that's always pretty awesome because typically, no matter how expensive or nice the palette is, the light shades tend to just disappear on me. But as you can see, it had shown up quite well before I began putting this next color on. And I decided that even though the pigmentation had been nice, I need a little bit of a darkening up. So I put kind of the hot pink shade in the palette over that. And as you generally do with slightly tamer goth makeup looks, I decided to wing the whole eyeshadow look out, because if you're new to goth makeup and you're having trouble figuring out what kind of eye shape to give yourself, this looks good on pretty much everyone, no matter what your eye shape is, which is always awesome. It's good for hooded and non-hooded eyes, and it kind of looks like a bat wing or a fairy wing, so there's that lovely goth element in the bat wing part. And then I put a slightly darker, the darkest purple shade, kind of the darkest berry shade in the palette over the top of that, because I just need to deepen it up a tiny bit in the socket. Now this is where the only problem I ran into with this palette occurred. For whatever strange reason, when I tried to layer that purple shade over the hot pink, it got really patchy to the point where I actually had to go off camera for a few minutes to touch it up because I just could not get it to work, and I thought I was going to have to completely start over. Luckily I didn't. I just, like I said, had to go off camera for a minute and fix it up with a different brush. Sometimes that is all it takes. If you're having trouble with your eyeshadow being patchy, sometimes you just need to try a different brush to blend it out. As you can see, it's not so bad now. And sometimes if even that doesn't work, try just getting the slightest bit of moisture on top of it, and sometimes that'll do the trick. I actually kind of mixed both. I put the littlest bit of water on a different blending brush, and it came out a lot better. And then on the lids, all I did was put one of the glittery pink shades. If you're someone who enjoys colorful pressed glitters, I definitely suggest this palette because that top row was insane. Like, I think I hadn't even wet this brush, so the fact that it showed up that well is just absolutely crazy. And then I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with my lips or anything, so I had opted against putting down video. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of my own teeth, so you'll have to forgive if I don't really do lipstick on camera. But this is essentially what the finished look ended up looking like. Honestly, I don't think I did that bad, considering it's a very pinky toned, very cutesy kind of looking palette. I think this look did come out pretty goth looking, so hooray for me. And if you decide to do any videos similar to this, I'd love to see what you come up with. I thought it was fun, one, just as, you know, like I said at the beginning of the video, as a just general challenge, and two, because sometimes if you're a low budget goth like myself, you have to just do with whatever's already in your closet. You can't be going out and buying new stuff all the time. So it's fun to kind of come up with ways to take what already exists and turn it into something a little bit new. So I hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, do something that makes you happy today, no matter what anyone else thinks about it. And I'll see all of you again soon.